Last time I did a fish room video, this tank was super murky. Now it is not. This is just my proof that no, the tanks are not murky all the time. Just every time I do a video, yes, I clean the sump and everything is horrible. Anyway, welcome back to a fish room video. Yes, this is my private fish room. Lots of fish, lots of breeding stuff, lots of nightmare. And by nightmare, yeah, I'm moving everything around again. All the shrimp in that giant mess over there are gonna get sorted, and I've just got like a little mini rack of shrimp here, which you can't even see at the moment. So I'm just using little tiny low iron glass tanks on a really dodgy stand. Yeah, my plan is to split all the nice colors up, get them all breeding true, and yeah, then set up a big breeding shrimp thing somewhere. But anyway, welcome back to another fish room video. We have some awesome fish turning up this week. Wow. So we're going to feed some fish in this video because it's early morning and all I do is feed fish and yeah, occasionally film what I do. So baby cichlids are going absolutely crazy. Yes, there is a silly amount of fish in a lot of these tanks. I keep forgetting to show people all these fish as well. Just mainly Central and South American cichlids grow up in there. There are a lot of fish. Maybe if we see them from above, they're a little bit easier to see. Not really. Anyway, oh, where do we even start? I think, well, obviously I need more room. So I think in this video, I'm going to go through the basics of what I want to ideally do to make this area better. And if you haven't seen any of my fish room videos before, I've been keeping and breeding fish for a good 40 years now. I know. Yes, I am that old. And yes, everything is still a mess, isn't it, Benji? Yes, it is. So, where do we even start? Oh, he's a little boy. He wanted pats. So, I do have more fish turning up this week because every week I have fish turning up. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I do own an aquarium shop and have for the last 26 years. Before that, worked in pet shops, aquariums, so pretty much obsessed with keeping things in glass boxes. Yeah, so we have some really awesome fish turning up. So if you're a local and you're a customer, they have not turned up yet, but I am expecting some giant hatchet fish, which are these dusty hatchets. I know, I have not had any since I took these ones home. If we can zoom in the back. Of course, everything's always murky because, yeah, morning time, feeding stuff. But they are weird. Is that weird? They are a type of tetra. So hatchet fish are those weird hatchet-shaped fish that swim up the top of the tank. Dusty hatchets are a little bit different. So they get huge. Normal hatchets get like 5 to 10 centimeters at the most. These guys and girls get up to 20 centimeters. And they're already in this tank probably, if I zoom out a little bit, they might come to the front. They're getting a little bit spooked with the phone stuck in their face, but they're probably about 10 centimeters already. And I think I got them at about 4 centimeters, probably about 5 months ago. I'm guessing. I would have to go back and check the videos, but they're growing up lovely. Yeah, hopefully I'll have them breed in the next year. So cool. So if you want a fish that gets 20 centimeters, this is a 30 centimeter side to side tank. What's a 2-foot tank by 1 foot on its side, so 20 centimeters is that big. So they're probably, yeah, a good 10 centimeters at the moment, maybe a little bit smaller. They look smaller because they're in the back of the tank. Let's say they're 10 centimeters and they'll grow 20 centimeters just for the sake of everything. But I should have some of those available. I won't know for a couple of days, so if it's a couple of days time and you're watching this video, comment down below and I can tell you if they've turned up or not, but there will be an unboxing video hopefully Friday, and hopefully we will have those. But I am not going to take any of those home. What I will be taking home, which I ordered just for me, is some more Tropheus. And if you haven't seen Tropheus before, they are a Tanganyikan cichlid. There's some little Duboisi. I know, it's early morning, I keep saying that. Yeah, I can never talk properly. But Tropheus Duboisi, which are these little tiny ones that are not focusing. There they go. Oh, they focused for a second. How lovely are they? So these are a high pH African Rift Lake cichlid. pH 8 to 9, I know, which is ridiculous. They're in with other Tanganyikan cichlids. So all these little guys and girls in here. Now, They will totally change color, as I said in my last video. So they go a blue face, a yellow vertical stripe, and a black body. So they lose that really, really cool, awesome little spotting blue to them. But I have some Pulu Point Tropheus turning up, and they're your cherry spot Tropheus. So they are black and they have two bright orangey red spots to them. Now, all Tropheus only max out about that 10-12 centimeters, so they're not a huge fish. They're an algae-eating fish, so if we zoom in there, num 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 num, that there, and a lot of people have asked lately what I'm feeding my fish. I know, I do sell it, so if you want it, it is on my website and there's links down below, but if you're overseas or wherever, you need some of this stuff. Vitalis, it is absolutely awesome food. So these are their Plek pellets, which Vitalis is made in the UK. Oh, look at me open this with one hand again. This is so dodgy. Yeah, do that over an open tank. That's really, really sensible, isn't it? Now, they are a soft pellet. Look at that. So if we go under the light, oh, you can squish it with your hands. So they don't bake it. They actually cold press it. So it's got more nutrients and everything in it than just your normal baked food. So there's no fillers, no anything like that. Absolutely awesome food. It's a little bit dearer than the other foods, obviously $49 Australian for a tub of that, but when you work out there's more nutrients in that than a great big $100 tub of other stuff, it works out a lot better. Oh, we'll just stick that in there. Who's going to get that? Mr. Wild Caught Oscar got that. Num 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 num. You're not really a vegetarian though, are you? No, as he spits bits out and goes, yeah, that was rubbish, I don't want that. All the silver cichlids will eat it, and God knows what else in there will eat it, but oh, he's giving it a good go. I probably should give them some pellets. Actually, while we're here, this is ideally what the tanks look like when I don't stir the sump up. So, Mr. Wolf cichlid there, my big redfin cigar sharks, which are getting huge, all my rescue Oscars. He had hole in the head when we rescued him, but he's going well. Saratoga, which is like an arowana, Australian Saratoga, which this is a Lacardi, the Southern Saratoga. He's got a little nib on his nose. Stop hitting your nose, because he's a little bit too user-friendly and keeps coming up to the glass when he sees you. Lots of my old peacock bass in here. They are looking so old now, I know. It's a bit of a shame. Hemianthus cats, which are pretty big. They're your false, what do you call them? Asian red-tailed cat, but they're not an Asian red-tailed cat. Don't get nearly as big. Almost as aggressive as an Asian red-tailed cat. I've never actually kept an Asian red-tailed cat. I would absolutely love to keep one, but it would be a one fish, one tank type thing. Now, while we're here too, because a lot of people don't realize how big these tanks are, they are 4 foot front to back. Yeah, this is my messy, messy sump. Complete nightmare of a sump, isn't it? I know. I'm going to redo this when it heats up in probably the next month or so. Yeah, just make it a little bit more user-friendly as well. I have calcium carbonate and stuff to buffer the GH and KH up, because all these big fish produce a lot of waste, and that alters my water chemistry. Wolf cichlid is pretty big. That is my big hand there, and that is the wolf cichlid. So it's really hard to show you how big these fish are. He's pretty big. He's not 2 foot, but he is bigger than a foot. So 1.5 foot. I do have some of his babies available in the shop as well. This thing, the sooty grunter, is an absolute bugger of a fish. He's so cool though, look at him. I know, that is Australian native fish from up north. I get them in occasionally. They are just a really nasty fish. Look at him. Yeah, we know you're hungry. We're going to give you some food. One-eyed peacock bass, you poor thing, etc, etc. Anyway, I thought I would just show you how actual nice and clear these tanks are. I don't know if it looks clear on video. If we go on the side, it's not going to look clear because this is 9 foot front to back. Yeah, my one tin foil barb. I am after some more tin foil barbs if anyone local is watching this and has some, because they unfortunately got wiped out by the bigger peacock bass, so I had to bring them into this tank. But there, silver cichlids are going well. Obviously all boys in here. I was going to get rid of them, but now I'm keeping them because we have a look in this lovely brown tannic acid tank. Where are they? There they are. I have some little girls growing up. I think that's maybe, no, that's a girl. There they are. They are just tiny though. They're probably like 6 centimeters. Surprisingly, haven't been wiped out by the giant gourami. I did have to move the, what are they? Gold severums, because bloody giant gourami wiped out one of my female gold severums. These are only little, growing them up. Now this tank is murky. This is my quarantine tank with the discus in it that you sort of probably would have saw in the last video. They're doing well. I'm about to treat them again for flukes because yeah, we got a couple in that weren't great. That one there is still a little bit mingy. See how his fins are down a little bit. But I've been, yeah, and that one too. Sad little things, but a couple more treatments of flukes and they should be good. My Aspidoris are in here as well. They are going awesome. Now, if I had more room, I would have separate quarantine tanks for everything, and adding established fish like that to a quarantine tank is never a great idea. Just means that they are now in quarantine. There's another girl there. I have been using this stuff though, which is Easy Life. I don't stock that at the moment, but you should get this stuff. It is a clay-based stuff. Well, it's clay in liquid, probably water, I don't know. But if you Google the crap out of that, you will find out what it is. But the clay actually breaks down chlorine, chloramine, clumps particles. It removes medications out of the water. It does all sorts of stuff. I don't know where I've been. 40 years, I've heard of Easy Life. I think the old stuff used to be called GeoLiquid or something in a horrible red container. But this stuff is absolutely great. So I will be stocking that in the next couple of weeks because, wow, it's surprising what it does. And it's no nasty chemicals or anything. So it's kind of a natural clay-based way of doing stuff. Yeah, and anything natural is generally better than dumping a whole lot of chemicals in your tank. Yes, I know. But, so these are little trial bottles. I don't sell it at the moment, but if you're out and about and you see this, maybe grab one of these because, yeah, Google it first, but it does a lot of cool stuff. And apparently they have natural medications, again, different clay-based stuff and all sorts of stuff like that, which help get rid of parasites and all sorts of bits and pieces. So kind of awesome stuff. Yeah, there you go. There's a plug for Easy Life, and I don't even sell it, but, you know, it's what I use now. But that is why the water is slightly murky, because I just dosed with that this morning. Otherwise, they are going well. Oh, where do we even start with all this stuff? Now, I think I've only got 1 or 2 of the setter girls left in the shop. I'm going to grow these guys and girls up because, yeah, I keep saying every year I'm going to grow them up, and then I don't grow them up and I sell out. So this time, these are all mine. I'm going to grow them up. If you haven't seen any of my other videos before, I've bred all these. I do need to spawn them again, but we are currently in the coldest time of the year. We've got 1 more month of winter and then it starts to heat up. And obviously I live in the subtropics, so it's not too bad. Like, I think we're getting down to like just below 10 degrees at night and 20 degrees in the daytime. But all these tanks are undercover outside, which, yeah, sounds stupid. It is kind of stupid, but it stops humidity and all that. I think I'm gonna have to rethink that as I get more and more tanks and more things breeding, because yeah, I'm sort of addicted to getting more fish at the moment, it seems. Every time I see a cool fish, I'm like, you know what? I want that. I don't want just 1, I want like 15. Then I want to grow them up and I want to breed them. And all the stuff I'm currently breeding, like all these little Malawi cichlids, these are my babies obviously, they're not the adults are around the other side. Yeah, I need more room for them, so I have to split them up. So I've got like 3 or 4 different species in each tank at the moment. Yeah, they just need to be all split up, grow up, and then I'll have some nice, decent sized ones available in the shop that I've bred myself, and I can continue breeding them. So I think with this fish room at the moment, these are all shrimp, so yeah, I don't have this side heated at the moment because it's so cold. And this is the weird thing too. I don't know if anyone else has had this in their fish room. These are different systems. So these are 12 2-foot tanks on a 6-foot sump. So they're all connected when I turn the pump on. apart from these 3 tanks at the moment with my pufferfish in them and a few sorted guppies and stuff. Never going to see the pufferfish because the pufferfish are hiding, but there's just random guppies as diverfish in these tanks. Yep, there's the guppies. No, cannot even, oh, there he is. There he is. Freshwater puffer, hello. He's going, why? Why are you filming me? But they are in those 3 tanks at the moment. Usually I have baby fish grow out and stuff like that, but this system here, compared to that system, is a lot colder. If I have a couple of 400 watt heaters going in this system, it struggles to keep temperature, where if I have a couple in that system, it's perfectly fine. I know, I think it's just the draft or something coming along here. I don't know, but it's always been that way. This has always been colder than that system, so yeah, it's just weird. And other systems as well, like this system here, which is 8 2-foot tanks. Well, it's actually 12, but I've got those 2 turned off. So let's say 10 12-foot tank, 10 12-foot tanks, no, 10 2-foot tanks. And that is connected with all this nightmare over here to that little sump there. Oh, which I need to top up the water. Oh crap, do I need to top up the water? Okay, I'm gonna come back. Look at my heaters out the water. I'll be back. Let me turn them off first, eh? Yeah. Well, that was almost a giant disaster. Yep, that would have flicked the power while I was at work today if I didn't notice that. So, yes, whoopsie. I think I've topped up every single tank, but I forgot this system. And obviously with the cold at the moment, yeah, we're losing a lot of water with evaporation. So not only did I have to top up the sump, but I had to take water out of the system as well. Okay, now what I was saying was, this is the sump which runs all this system. Obviously it could be a little bit bigger. Now we are completely topped up with water. If it overflows because it just goes outside, which is another good thing about having all these tanks outside and not in a lovely room where water goes everywhere. Yeah, that was very close. And I have done a couple of videos where I've been doing water changes, but all I do to change water or top things up is I fill a barrel up with water. Either use reverse osmosis or tap water depending on the system and what I'm breeding. Our tap water is super hard and alkaline, so we need stuff like acid buffers to bring the pH down. There's multiple different types of this. You can use a pH down, you can use an acid buffer. There's all sorts of stuff like pH regulators and that. Stuff that alters the GH of the water ideally works really well. And then I just dechlorinate the water. Currently I am using Fritz Complete, but I'm pretty sure that that other stuff, yeah I know, that stuff, Easy Life, also dechlorinates the water. So that's kind of interesting. So I don't know if I'll be changing to that or not, but Fritz Complete is pretty much exactly the same as Prime, made in America, yada. If I am doing water changes for all the high pH stuff, I use buffers like cichlid buffers. And I think the good thing with this one is, I think there's different dose rates for Tanganyika, Malawi and Victorian, and those are just 3 of the rift lakes in Africa. So you can use more or less of it to raise your pH and KH up, which is just minerals and stuff in the water. Obviously, all these systems are different pHs and different water hardness for different things. I know, I see a lot of people's videos where they just have everything mixed in together, but the fish have to evolve to live in different water comfortably, not just adapt by being bred in captivity. Oh, those 2 cylindricus are going completely crazy at each other. 2 boys. Now, I have not seen any baby cylindricus. That one that keeps hovering around the shells is going to wipe out my baby shell dwellers. Needs to bugger off. Where are the shell dwellers? There they are. Awesome fish. Yeah, I think, well, hopefully adding more Tropheus. Now, I don't know where I'm putting the Tropheus too, because I need to quarantine them, so I'm probably going to quarantine them somewhere separate and then add them to the bottom tank where all the Calvis and Compressiceps. Oh, look, because they are continuously hiding. They're down here. There is a tail sticking out of that barnacle. There is another tail. There is a gold Compressiceps sitting there looking absolutely weird, aren't you? Yes, you are. There is another one there. So there is quite a few of them in here, and yeah, they see me walk past and they hide. So hopefully a school of Tropheus in there will bring them out a little bit better. I may have even something cooler than the Tropheus turning up. Don't know if they're going to turn up or not yet. Hopefully they will, because it's a species of Tanganyikan fish I've never kept before, and they're an awesome schooling fish that gets a decent size too. Where am I going to put all these fish? Yeah, I don't know. Now, the problem is, I think, again, I'm going to redo everything. I wish I could move these two 6x3s, because they're sort of not practical where they are, but they absolutely weigh a ton. Empty, with the stand, I can't even budge the bloody tanks. And yeah, there are so many fish in these tanks at the moment, all grow out and stuff like that. Look how murky and brown that is. Well, it's not murky, it's just very tannic acid. I know. Fish like it. Doesn't look great to look at. But I think, yeah, I need to move the groper out of there soon, but he's going to wait till spring, so another month or so, and then it'll be moving the groper into a giant, I have no idea what right now. But yeah, I think what I want to do is move these systems in the middle again, but I'm not too sure where right now. And then I want to do bigger tanks on a stand in the middle, maybe 3-footers, I would suspect. Yeah, if I go 1, 2, 3, and then just do a whole big row of 3-footers on a proper system for all the Malawis on one side and Tanganyikans on the other. And yeah, at least little tanks like these are easy to move and squish in somewhere. I may even move all the stuff around out here. So, as I said before in the video, these are the shrimp tanks, and there's just shrimp in there. Some of them are awesome, some of them are not awesome, so I need to split all these shrimp up, and they've just been sitting in these tanks while it's cold, because I don't have these on the system at the moment. All the baby fish are on a totally different system. There are way too many fish in that tank, isn't there? That is ridiculous. Oh, and the ones down below. Yeah, crazy, crazy times, but yeah, just a little bit too cold to heat these out in the open, so I'm not going to burn through the power to heat these and have all the baby fish in there. So they've just been all popped into those two 4-foot tanks. I was going to say 6-foot tanks. They're not. They're 4-foot tanks. There they are there. But I do have this area along here, which is my frog wall. Yes, there are frogs in there somewhere. I could potentially move them because they're fine there, but they're easy to move. And then that would give me a whole big wall there to move those tanks. And I have had tanks here before, a long, long time ago. So that's another thing I could easily do. And then I could move the frog wall somewhere else. Do I sound crazy? Yeah, I sound crazy, don't I? Probably because I am. Yeah, then we've got all this area. So this area is kind of not overly user-friendly. Big Murray cod is doing really well. Loving the cold. I've got this tank, well, this tub turned off this system at the moment because we're heating everything up and we're 22, 23 degrees. Baby cichlid grow out in here is going crazy. And all the rays are doing their ray thing as well. Which brings us to this tank, which is all the bigger stuff. Bigger peacock bass hybrids. Don't try and eat the peacock bass. Nasty, nasty Maturo stingray. More giant gouramis. My pig-nosed turtles doing their pig-nosed turtle thing. And this is and big Saratoga. And this is another 9-foot by 4-foot tank again. I've gone through this system in multiple videos, but it's just all hooked up together. And yeah, costing me a silly, silly amount in power to heat it. So I'm going to redo all this so it's better for them, because this is just a boring pool with black liner. And yeah, I don't want to keep stingrays like that long term. I want to have them in something bigger, a little bit more user friendly, give them sand areas. No way I'm going to actually get any babies out of them, because they'll just be born and hide under the sand and I won't notice them. But so be it. And yeah, I think just make it a little bit more user friendly. So I do have some sort of wasted space here. I might even end up moving these tubs outside undercover and using them for cold water stuff, or just grow out in summer. And yeah, then I've got all this area in here to have tanks and stuff as well, which I have had tanks here before. So it's a continuous moving stuff around. But I think, yeah, maybe if I move all this bits and pieces around, I'll have more room for all the other stuff. And yeah, Can you tell I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment? I'm just playing it by ear and seeing where we go. But ideally, I would like a little bit more uniform and have nice rows of bigger tanks, just so I can have colonies of all the Malawis and Tanganikans together, and then grow out tanks as well. And I think ideally I want all the tanks up the top for the colonies, and then down the bottom the grow out for the fry, because then it's just easier to check them and see what they're doing. Anyway, that is me waffling on about my fish room yet again. Awesome new fish. Hopefully they will turn up super, super cool. Obviously they're not a lovely cherry color when they're small, but they are brown, like every baby fish ever. But they are a pretty awesome looking fish. So while we're here, we might as well feed some fish as well. And as I said, yeah, I feed my fish a big mixture of stuff. So this Dimax Arowana exclusive, which we're not feeding to arowanas because we don't keep arowanas anymore, is a decent size pellet. That's that stuff there. We are just going to feed a whole lot of these guys and girls. Make a mess. Giant gourami inhaling. I think they're going to get a bigger pellet soon as well. So these pellets are, I don't know, I would say 5 mil or something like that, give or take. But I'm pretty sure they're getting some decent sized pellets. I'm sure they said that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dimax doesn't watch my videos. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a lot bigger pellet turning up soon. Because yeah, when you start keeping bigger fish, really they're like, what on earth are you feeding us? Little grains of rice? So people really need decent sized pellets, and hopefully the wholesalers sooner or later are actually going to realize that. I know. So I feed all these a big mixture of different stuff. The silver dollars are going well as well. And my pink tails, I only have 2 pink tails up the top, a boy and a girl. That's the boy there. Girl's way, way at the back. I do want to spawn them too, so I reckon I can spawn them in summer. Pop them in a tub. After a rain, they should pretty much spawn, and hopefully I'll get some fry out of them because they are a super, super awesome fish. Let me find more pellets and give these guys some. And I was going to get an FX6 filter for this tank, but there's an Aqua L filter that is better. I know, and I don't know about filters with apps and stuff, but it has an app to it and all sorts of stuff. It's the same idea as an FX6, but it has more bells and whistles. So when they're in stock, I may trial one of those and see how they go. See if that clears up my murk, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's tannic acid and it's little particles. But what I might do is try that Easy Life stuff in there and see how it goes as well, and see if it actually makes a difference with the murk, because it's supposed to pick up little particles and stuff like that. The filtration in this tank is a big messy sump down below. I'm not even going to look in there, but yeah, that's filtration for the whole tank. It pumps water up, water overflows into there. There's a heater in there and all sorts of bells and whistles as well. But that is sort of where we are with all that stuff. Yeah, I will continue on feeding the bigger fish, but I'll also, while we're here, the stuff which is just your cheaper Dimax flake food. Yeah, the fish go absolutely crazy over it. I think it's all the garlic. And yes, I do go through a stupid amount of food, because all fish do is eat and eat and eat and eat. I know. Don't worry, it's not as bad as my power bill, and we're not even going to go there because, yeah, no one wants to know what the power bill is. I don't even want to know what the power bill is. One day, hopefully, I will make a profit and just not break even, but most likely I'm just going to ever break even forever. And, you know, living the dream, I'm pretty sure, is what it's called. That stuff there, your cichlid premium, which you probably would have saw in my other video, is what I'm feeding all the Malawis at the moment, which is just a nice little pellet for them. They go absolutely crazy for that. There's the ones down the bottom. And these little ones here, which are a little bit smaller, I'm actually feeding, that up there, Vitalis catfish pellets. I know, which has got the same sort of nutrition as some of the other ones. Usually I feed them the Vitalis cichlid pellets, but ran out. This is so close, it's not funny, but it's a soft pellet, which is just a little bit easier for baby fish to eat. Yeah, and they generally go crazy on it. So again, Vitalis is up there with awesome, awesome foods. Anyway, I might end it at that. I will quickly try and feed all my fish before I have to go to work, and hopefully won't stuff up any more sumps by not topping up the water. Whoops. Anyway, see you in the next video. Got any comments or questions, comment down below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, and thanks heaps to all my members. There'll be another members video soon because there's some super, super cool stuff turning up. Anyway, see you there.